Welcome to vlog 6. This week's something a little bit different. We've got a question and answer vlog, so thank you very much for everyone that sent in questions. Hopefully I'll be able to give some good answers and give Got Ellie with me, my little cousin. She's brought her pony down to, thank you Buzz. She's brought her pony down for the week to ride here at ours. So she's going to join me for a couple of questions.
How tall are you?
I am 6'1" or 2.
Ellie?
I am shorter than him.
What's your greatest achievement, Joe?
Ooh, tough one. Ooh, really tough. I would say having the honour to actually jump at Horse of the Year show at the International was really exciting. So I'd say up until now, jumping at Horse of the Year show was my greatest achievement.
Okay, and if you weren't a show jumper, what career path would you have gone down?
Hopefully,
I think we know the answer to this one.
Would have played a little bit of cricket. I still play a bit of cricket now, but focusing a bit more on horses. I've played it for years. My dad was always really big into the cricket, and that's how I got into it. So hopefully I would have been a cricketer had I not chosen the horses.
Ellie, what career path do you want to go down?
I want to go down show jumping, but if I can't do that, I don't really know. I don't really know.
Basically, it's 2 show jumpers sat on the sofa.
At school.
Yeah, just like Joseph did. Okay, so if you could ride any horse ever, past or present, I know who mine would be. Who would yours be?
Mine would be to ride my dad's Olympic horse, Colato. I never rode her. I was a bit too small and too young then. But I'd love to have ridden her and actually jumped her when she was in her prime to get a bit of a feel of what she was like.
That's nice. What about you, Ellie?
Mine would probably be ROMEO.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you'll get a chance to do that at one
when
point.
When he's retired, he calmed down a bit.
Yeah, you can have on him. So what's your plans for the next few years, Joe?
See where we go, really. I've got a really good string of horses at the moment for this year. Hopefully the next few. Got some really exciting younger ones coming through, some really nice 7-8-year-olds, and then actually a few even younger than that, sort of 4 or 5-year-olds in the field. So with any luck, there'll be some nice horses in there I can compete on. So that's the plan, just keep going as we are.
Has Mark, your brother, also inherited the show jumping bug in between his golf?
No.
Don't think he will. Will you be at Bolesworth this year in June?
I haven't decided yet. I know it's a fabulous show. It's a really nice show. So if I did get the opportunity to go, then it would be great. But not sure yet. But we'll have to wait and see.
Have you ever jumped in a bitless bridle?
Actually, I'm talking about this just the other day. No, I haven't. I've ridden a couple of mine in hackamores at home, but I've never jumped in the ring in a hackamore. I've tried them in the stall at home, but I've never actually gone into the ring. What
boots do you ride in at home?
Tougher boots. So I've got a whole selection of tougher boots. I've also got work boots, and then I've got really lovely long riding boots. And I wear those both out at home, and that shows. They wear really well. They don't get worn out, so that's what I use every day.
Okay, Hannah asks, did you fall into show jumping, or was it always like a career path you were going to take?
It's always something I've been in and around. As I've mentioned, I did play a lot of cricket, and I'm sort of in my mind trying to decide between the two, whether to go down the cricket or the riding path. But you know, sometimes things happen, and you just that's the way it goes. So I'm really enjoying the ride at the moment, and hopefully it'll go well.
What's your favourite show to compete at?
Ooh, I would really love to jump at Olympia one year.
Cool.
I haven't competed there yet, but from being a spectator and even walking the courses in there, I know it's an unbelievable atmosphere. It's not really like anywhere else. But to compete there in the 5-star would be unbelievable.
So Daisy asks, why do you use a fluffy noseband on Romeo?
Basically, he is quite prone to bring his head quite high. So what it means is when he if he does have a bit of a paddy and throw his head up right in the air, he can't actually see where he's going. So he has to keep his head a little bit lower and focus on the job a bit more.
That is quite smart. Will you be going to RDS in August?
Gotta be honest, I'm not very good at planning that far ahead.
Just to let you all know, Joe doesn't know what he's doing next week, let alone in August.
Tomorrow, I don't know what to do tomorrow. So I've got to have to get back to you on that one. Yeah.
Fair enough. A lot of people are wanting to know, what type of clippers do you and Charlotte use?
We use wool animal clippers. We have done for as long as I can remember. They're really good. They're pretty long lasting, so that's what we use at the moment.
Okay, so where are you off to next?
So our next show is, I've been very fortunate to get into Le Touquet. It's a really lovely 3-star in France, so I'm leaving on Wednesday. Head over there with 3 horses to jump.
Nice. How many competition horses do you have at the moment?
So, how many have we got? We've got on the yard, I think we've got 15 horses in on the yard at the moment, but that includes sort of the little my old pony and things. So I think we have 11 horses in work at the moment. So I've got sort of 5 top horses for the internationals and a couple of younger ones and a couple coming through. So yeah, 11 in full work at the minute.
And can you explain to people, what are these all around the tack room?
So those are the plaques you get when you go to an international show. So as you can see, collected a few in our time. So yeah, every time you go to an international, you're placed in a big international class, you get a plaque, and we collect them and we put them all up around here so we can keep track of where we've been.
That is your dad's and yours, not
Yeah,
just...
no, not just mine, but I'm starting mine. Starting my own row.
Okay, best bit of advice someone's ever given to you, Joe?
Best bit of advice. No such word as can't. You will or you won't. There you go. That's a good one.
How do you worm your horses at the yard?
Equisal tape gun is what we use.
Good. Can you quickly tell your story? So, like, how did you get to where you are right now?
Right, well...
It's complicated.
As brief as I can. So, I started off, I was in the Oakham West Pony Club. I had a little old pony, little 12-2 pony called Muffet. And I did mounted games on it. Well, she did everything really. Mounted games, bit of jumping, but all just fun stuff. Then I went through school, did school up to A-levels, got my A-levels, worked really hard, and then I was playing a lot of cricket. I've always been riding on the side as well as that, but just for fun. I think I've always had a horse, but nothing really more. And then left school, started getting a little bit more serious about the riding, started doing more, and here we are. Yeah.
2019, everyone. Okay, so you always look really smart, according to Ellen, when you compete. What brand of hat do you ride in?
Gatehouse hats. They've got a really good selection, and actually they fit me really well. They're perfectly designed, so that's what I use.
Whole team rides in Gatehouse now,
yeah.
Which is nice. We like to be matching. Straw or shavings?
Shavings on all of ours. All of ours are spoiled.
Very spoiled. What was your first car?
My first car was a real beauty. It was a 2004 Volkswagen Polo that occasionally broke down quite often. It wouldn't start at school a lot of the time, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Have your family always been into horses?
No, so before my dad, he didn't come from a horsey background at all. His father was a builder, and my dad basically got into horses. He went down to the local riding school, I think, one day when his mum had got annoyed at him. She sent him down to the local riding school, keep him busy. And yeah, he just carried on from there really. I don't think at first he was completely into the horses. I think he preferred the handyman stuff, and then from then on he carried on. And then I've just been around them all my life anyway.
And Ellie's dad is actually a horse dentist.
Yes, yeah, I should say Ivan, my uncle, he's a horse dentist as well. So I think it was because of my dad that he then spoke to Ivan, his brother, and said, "Hey, there's not a bad career there." So.
Perfect. What do you protect your horse's ligaments with when jumping? Boots, bandages?
Yeah, boots every time we jump. We
Front and back?
front and back boots whenever we jump ours. The babies to start off with won't have back boots, but then they just go onto a really nice soft pair, and most of ours are just on boots every time. We bandage now and then. We bandage at a show if we're just working on a flat, but to jump always boots.
Next question. Do you use ice boots after working your horses?
Yes, so we are very lucky to be in association with Horseware, and I've had a lot of long chats with them about what's best for the horse's legs, how to keep them in the best condition, and we use their Ice 5 boots. So a lot of misconception with that is people have bought them and said, they don't make the leg cold enough. But the thing is, they've put a lot of research, a lot of money into actually designing what's best, and so they don't get the leg too cold, they get it perfectly cold, but then it keeps the circulation going.
At that optimum temperature.
Optimum temperature, and so you need the blood and the oxygen there to help with the healing. So we use all those on all of ours, and it just keeps those tendons and legs as good as they can be.
Perfect. Any advice you'd give to someone wanting to compete at a high level of show jumping?
I think you've just got to be
Buzz.
really Buzz. Buzz is scared of the horses. You got to be really passionate about it, and I think you've got to enjoy it as well. I think if you think of it too much as a job, then you'll I don't know, everything's a bit more hard work. But if you'd enjoy it and you're just interested in it naturally, then I think that's the best way to go about it.
How many shows a week do you normally do?
So it depends. We'll rotate all our horses, so it won't be out every week. So we'll go to a midweek show with the younger ones, get them out maybe play around if they haven't been out before. And then most weekends there's some good national shows on, and obviously we have the odd international here and there. So it's hard to say really. It depends what the horses need. It all depends what stage of the year you're at as well. Because when you're just starting, to go on a big tour like we did to Spain, that's really good because they can jump week in, week out. So they can just jump consistently, is what I was meant to say. And that's really good to get them up and running at the beginning of the year, so then they're ready for the rest of the year. But we try not to over jump them, but it's a fine balance between over jumping and not jumping enough. So we try and keep it. Depends every horse is different. Some horses need jumping every week. Some horses they're better for a bit of rest in between.
Okay, and what do you look for in a top groom like Charlotte? What do they need to do?
Oh, okay. I'm very lucky. We've got some really brilliant staff at ours at the moment. They really are excellent, and I think they've got to share the same passion for the job as you. They've got to want to really help the horses and do what's best for them. It's very easy to sort of cut corners and things, but then you'll start to see a difference if you do start to cut those corners. So you've got to have someone that's really, passionate about it, and they want to do as best they can to sort of help you out. And they've got to be on your team as well. They need to want you to do well. You've got to have a good relationship together, and I'd say that's what you're looking for.
Okay, your Mojo band. Are you wearing it right now?
I am. It's under here. Boom.
People want to know, how does that help your riding?
Well, many ways. So the Mojo band is. I will explain it wrong, so I'm just going to say, head over to the Mojo website, and that'll have a lot more detailed description of what they do.
The science behind it.
And more of the reasons behind it. But it's all to do with your balance, your core, and obviously when you're riding, to stay more balanced in the middle of the horse, it makes a big difference. So there's a lot of upsides to wearing it, and I just like wearing it as well. How did
you balance school and show jumping?
It was tough. It was tough. I'm not going to say I was the best
at balancing the two.
I feel like school might have been the one that suffered.
Don't be silly. No, it's definitely doable, but you just got to be organised and actually plan ahead. I think I was maybe not so good at that.
How do you pick yourself up from a bad show when you feel a bit deflated?
It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, and I'm not going to say I'm the best at it. But I think you just got to carry on. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, that is the thing with sport, and especially our sport. It's very easy for little things to go wrong, and you can sort of get in a bit of a rut. But you just got to pick yourself up, keep going as best you can, and just stay motivated and keep working hard.
Did you start in ponies?
I did. So I had ponies. I always had ponies, but I was never sort of doing the JA Grand Prix, anything like that. I was always I had my ponies for a bit of fun. I had some really lovely ponies along the way, but I did all sorts of little bit of cross country on them, and not just show jumping, and not to the sort of the highest level, I suppose. I think there's a lot of people that were a lot better than me at that time, and so I wouldn't say it's necessary, but the ponies is definitely a big part of it, and you get some really talented riders in there, but I was never up there, if that makes any sense, in the pony.
Who have you found the best company to insure horses with? Because I think everyone's having that problem at the moment.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of talk about this because a lot of companies have changed their policy. So we're all with Amlin Plus. They've done this for years. They do a lot of the racing horses as well, and I think they do a cricket team. They do Essex cricket team as well. Yeah, Amlin have been superb. They really are excellent. The service and I suppose the product they provide is really good, and we'll hopefully continue with them for a long time.
Okay, we've gone to...
We disturbed Blue.
Yeah, she was sleeping.
Not
So.
particularly happy about it.
Next question we have is, what is the best long-wearing equipment that you use for around the yard?
So we're very lucky to have got the sponsorship deal from Red Gorilla. We actually, before we even spoke to them, we had a load of their stuff, all their feed buckets, brooms, whatever. We had all that before. So we're very lucky to be supported by them, and all their equipment is brilliant. It is so long lasting and actually quite robust, so that's what we use.
And quite a few people have commented that they love your Team Stockdale kit. So where can they get some of that?
So I believe there should be on the Beware website. She's in charge of all that. I think there'll be links and things on Facebook and Instagram and all the social media as well. So go on there and you can help support.
What is the most expensive horse you've ever ridden?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you which horse. I suppose everyone's worth what someone will pay for it, won't it? So, difficult question to answer that one.
And where did you learn the most about riding?
Just being at home, I think. Even when you're not really having a lesson as such, just being in and around it, and being surrounded by, you just pick up things without even thinking about it. You see something and you'll end up copying it, and that'll in turn help you in the long term. So just being around horses and being around someone that's knowledgeable is the best thing, I think.
And you're now going down to the Billy Stud a little bit.
Yeah, so involved with Billy Stud. Will's been really good. He's been giving me a bit of a hand, so big thank you to them for that.
What is or was your worst riding fall/injury?
It was at Pony Club Camp. I was jumping through a grid, and I don't really know. Just sort of came off, fell into a wing, and I broke my arm.
Can we just clarify this was over cross pole, everyone?
I don't think so. I think it's 165, 170.
It's definitely cross pole. I was there, I witnessed it. Frankie asks, what's your routine before international shows?
So I try to get the horses as fit as possible, make sure they're all, they have physio before they go, the vet sees them, make sure there's nothing wrong at all, that they get nice and fit, so they're not going to go and be tired. We'll maybe take them out to a training day, either hire somewhere or go to a national show here just to get them ready, to get them out.
Also, they all have massage rugs on, so they all have the FMBS Home Systems rug. That goes on all of our horses. They have that, I'd say, maybe 4 times a week. They serve that quite often. They have a TENS machine on as well, to just make sure they're nice and loose to their backs. And then if anything needs extra supplements or whatever, then we've got all the horse fur stuff. It's like we planned it, you know. All the horse fur supplements as well, to get them in whatever condition they need to be.
What feed are your horses on, actually? I think a few people are quite interested.
Spillers feed for all of ours, all on spillers, and then with horse fur supplements.
Do they all have the same feed, or is it like...
No, so it's all completely tailored to them. So some have different supplements, some have different spillers feed just to make up what works for them. You know, some need a bit more energy, some need calming down a little bit. It's all designed on the horse.
You can actually see on the board all of the horses' names and their feed. We've had lots of people asking about what is the comfiest tack you've ever ridden in.
Well, for sure, in my opinion, CWD is some of the best tack out there. It is the best tack you can get at the moment. The saddles, the bridles, everything about them is the best quality, and even the leather on it, everything. It's just unbelievable. And as soon as you break those saddles in, they're really comfy. They allow the horse to use all their back when they're jumping. It makes a real difference. So yeah, CWD, saddles and bridles are the one for me.
Your biggest ambition in life?
Well, I think gotta say Olympics really. If you're gonna go down the horse route, I'd love to jump at the Olympic Games. I think that's what a lot of people would say. I think that's the pinnacle of the sport. So.
Are we aiming for Tokyo 2020?
Might be pushing on like a little bit there, but yeah, hopefully somewhere down the line that would be a nice one to tick off the list.
I think Romeo would quite enjoy that.
Yeah.
Right, Romeo. Okay.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different, give you a bit of an idea about some things you were interested in. Comment below if you were going to ride any horse, past or present, what would it be? Let me know. We'd love to hear that. And you know, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. So off to Latuka next week. Hopefully we might be able to get some footage from there, so maybe put something together and see if that works out and give you a little insight to Latuka.